This is Sheraton Fiji Golf and Beach Resort on Denarau Island, and the real question is not whether it looks like a polished Fiji resort. It does. The question is whether this 5-star stay gives you the Fiji dream, or whether it is really a very convenient resort base near Nadi with a few important trade-offs. I filmed the room, pools, breakfast, grounds, evening entertainment, and the resort zone around it, so this review is really about what the property proves on camera, not just what the brochure promises. Arrival immediately tells you what kind of stay this is. There is a traditional welcome, a large open lobby, welcome drinks, and that polished Denarau resort rhythm where everything feels easy from the first few minutes. This is not a hidden boutique escape. It is a big, organized Marriott resort built for people who want Fiji to be simple. Airport nearby, port nearby, restaurants nearby, and enough facilities that you can arrive tired and still feel like the holiday has started. If that practical footage is useful, hit like. It tells me to keep showing the real arrival experience, not just the postcard shots. The room footage is more about comfort than spectacle. You get crisp white bedding, a clean bathroom setup, proper amenities, robes, organized storage, and details like a digital thermostat that actually gives useful weather information. Nothing here screams ultra private island villa, and that matters for expectations, but for a 5-star base near Nadi, it looks practical, maintained, and easy to live in for a few nights. My read is that the room supports the stay rather than becoming the reason to book it. If you want the room itself to be the main event, choose your category carefully and prioritize oceanfront or ocean view when the price makes sense. The pool and beachfront areas are the strongest visual argument for staying here. The lazy river-style pool, loungers, palms, sunset light, and open lawns all feel polished and very easy. But this is also where the honest trade-off appears. Denarau is convenient Fiji, not remote island Fiji. The beach setting gives you sand, palms, performances, and resort atmosphere, but it is not the crystal clear turquoise lagoon many people imagine when they search for Fiji. So the right way to judge this hotel is not, is this the most magical beach in Fiji? It is, do I want a comfortable resort base with everything nearby? That distinction matters because viewers often book Fiji with one image in mind: glassy water, isolation, and a beach that looks untouched. Sheraton gives you a more practical version of the trip, and that can still be valuable if your itinerary needs speed, comfort, and reliability. The grounds make the convenience argument stronger. You see long landscaped paths, covered walkways, lawns, resort buildings, a chapel, and signs pointing toward the fitness center. This matters because Sheraton Fiji is part of a larger Denarau ecosystem. You are close to Nadi Airport, close to Port Denarau for island transfers, and close to golf through Denarau Golf and Racquet Club. That makes it especially useful for first-time Fiji visitors, families, Marriott Bonvoy travelers, and anyone using Denarau as the start or end of a bigger island trip. It is less compelling if your goal is total seclusion. Dining is where the footage becomes surprisingly strong. The buffet has real scale, desserts, hot stations, seafood, salads, cheeses, cold cuts, pizza, pasta, and live cooking. On camera, it looks abundant and much more useful than a generic hotel breakfast pan. This is important because Denarau resort pricing can feel high once you stay mostly on property, so food, quality, and variety matter. The positive is that there is clearly choice. The caution is that a big buffet is still a big resort buffet, It can be busy, staff are constantly working the stations, and the experience is more polished family resort than quiet fine dining. If you are comparing this with another Fiji hotel, comment the name below. These food and breakfast comparisons are exactly where the viewers can save money or avoid the wrong stay. The seafood and cold stations are especially useful evidence because they show the resort is not relying on one basic breakfast counter. You can see enough variety for different travelers, from families who need simple options to adults who want something more substantial. I would still judge this as convenience dining rather than destination dining, but the footage makes it hard to call the food setup an afterthought. Breakfast looks broad enough for most travelers: juices, fruits, waffles, hot stations, eggs, cold cuts, smoked salmon, coffee, and a lot of small details that make family travel easier. This is one of the places where the resort probably works best for people who value convenience over intimacy. You are not watching a tiny boutique breakfast. You are watching a full Denarau machine built to feed a lot of guests. That can be a strength if you want options every morning. It can also be a downside if you are looking for something calm, slow, and adults only. For a longer stay, that variety can matter more than one perfect dish because eating on property becomes part of the value calculation. If breakfast is included, this section looks stronger. If you're paying separately for every meal, I would compare packages and nearby options before assuming the resort price automatically makes sense. Facilities are broader than just beach and pool. The gym footage shows proper equipment rather than a token treadmill room, and the arcade-style activity space is a useful signal for families or rainy moments. Add golf nearby, kids' activities, restaurants, and Port Denarau access, and the hotel starts making sense as a logistical base. The downside is that every extra facility pulls the vibe further away from a quiet, romantic hideaway. If your ideal Fiji trip is silence, water villas, and no schedule, this is probably not your cleanest match. If your ideal Fiji trip is easy, serviced, and low friction, it starts looking much stronger. Evening entertainment gives the property its most memorable Fiji resort energy. The beach performances and fire dancers are visually strong, and they help the stay feel like more than just a convenient hotel near Nadi. This is the kind of programming that works well for families, first-time visitors, and anyone who wants the resort to create the atmosphere for them. It is not subtle and it is not private, but it is effective. The best way to understand Sheraton Fiji is that it tries to remove friction. It gives you a room, pools, food, activities, entertainment, and transport convenience in one package. Final verdict: Sheraton Fiji Golf and Beach Resort is worth considering if you want an easy Denarau base. Close to Nadi, close to port, Denarau, family-friendly, golf-friendly, and full of resort facilities. It is a mixed fit if you are chasing the most cinematic beach in Fiji or a quiet private island feeling. For convenience, it makes sense. For pure dream beach magic, I would compare carefully before booking. Subscribe for more honest luxury hotel reviews, and comment the Fiji hotel you want tested next. I will keep showing the room, the food, the beach reality, and the trade-offs that hotel websites usually skip.